Imagine a road that was never just a road, a line of pavement stretching across deserts, plains, small towns, neon signs, gas stations, motels, diners, and memory. A road where families packed everything they owned into old cars and drove toward the promise of a better life. A road where soldiers came home, migrants searched for work, teenagers chased freedom, and America learned to see itself through a windshield. This is Route 66, the main street of America, the Mother Road, the road that carried America's dreams. At first glance, Route 66 looks simple. It was a highway, a route across the map, a way to get from Chicago to Los Angeles. But America has always placed more meaning on roads than roads can carry. In a country built by movement, the road became a symbol of choice, escape, reinvention, and risk. To drive west was to believe that somewhere beyond the horizon, life could begin again. That belief is older than Route 66, but Route 66 gave it pavement, signs, gas pumps, and a number people could remember. Route 66 was officially created in 1926, at a time when America was being reshaped by the automobile. Cars were no longer only toys for the wealthy. They were becoming tools for ordinary families, workers, farmers, and travelers. The United States needed roads that could connect its cities, farms, factories, and dreams. Route 66 linked the Midwest to the Southwest and the Pacific Coast. It passed through Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. On paper, it was infrastructure. In imagination, it became a promise. The road did not only connect big places, it connected small ones. Main streets, courthouse squares, farm towns, railroad crossings, roadside cafes, repair shops, and family-run motels. Along Route 66, America did not look like a distant capital or a Wall Street office. It looked like a waitress pouring coffee before sunrise, a mechanic wiping grease from his hands, a mother counting coins at a gas station, a child asleep in the back seat, and a neon sign glowing in the desert night. The road turned ordinary places into a national story. Then came the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression. The dream darkened. In the 1930s drought, dust storms, failed farms, bank losses, and economic collapse pushed families from the Great Plains toward California. Many traveled west on Route 66. They were not tourists. They were refugees inside their own country. They carried mattresses, tools, cooking pots, children, hope, and humiliation. The road that had promised freedom now carried desperation. In John Steinbeck's words, Route 66 became the mother road, the road of flight. For those families, California was not only a place. It was an idea, work in the orchards, food on the table, a roof, a future for children, a chance to stop running. Every mile west carried the question, will America still have room for us? This was a kind of migration, not across an ocean, but across the interior of a nation. The people on the road were Americans, yet they arrived as strangers in their own country. Route 66 became a corridor of hope, but also a corridor of judgment. That is the first great contradiction of Route 66. It represented freedom, but many people used it because they had no choice. It represented adventure, but many travelers were fleeing hunger. It represented the open road, but it also exposed how hard America could be on the poor. The same highway that later became a symbol of vacation once carried families who were unwanted when they arrived. The American dream was there, but it was not evenly given. Route 66 showed both the promise and the wound. During World War II, Route 66 changed again. Soldiers, workers, and supplies moved across the country. Military bases, defense industries, and western cities grew. The road helped connect a nation at war. Young men left home. Factories filled with workers. Families followed jobs to California, Arizona, New Mexico, and beyond. The highway became part of wartime mobility, part of the great national movement that helped America become an industrial giant. For many people, the road carried fear, duty, and the possibility of a new life after the war. After the war, the mood shifted, soldiers came home, families grew, cars became larger, faster, and more common. Americans had more money, more leisure, and a hunger to see the country they had defended. Route 66 became the road trip of the post-war imagination. Parents packed children into station wagons. Cameras clicked at roadside attractions. Diners served burgers, pie, and coffee. Motels promised clean beds and air conditioning. Neon signs made the night feel friendly. The road that had carried hardship now carried vacation. This was the golden age of roadside America. Giant signs shaped like arrows, teepees, cowboys, rockets, whales, and animals called travelers from the highway. Gas stations competed with color and charm. Local diners became landmarks. Motels had swimming pools and postcards. Every town wanted passing cars to stop, eat, sleep, refuel, and remember. Route 66 was not only a transportation route, it was a stage where small businesses performed hospitality. For families from America, Canada, Britain, and Australia, this image still feels like a postcard from the 20th century. Route 66 also belongs to the story of immigration, not only because migrants moved west, but because the road was served by people who came from many backgrounds. Immigrant families opened cafes, repair shops, groceries, motels, and roadside businesses. In towns along the route, newcomers learned how to become American while serving travelers who were doing the same thing in a different way. The highway became a place of exchange. Accents, food, labor, money, stories, and directions. America was not built only in grand monuments. It was built at counters, pumps, and front desks. But the open road was not open equally to everyone. For black travelers during segregation, the highway could be dangerous. A family road trip required planning, caution, and knowledge of where it was safe to buy gas, eat, or sleep. The same Route 66 that promised freedom also passed through a country divided by race, fear, and exclusion. Travel guides like the Green Book helped black motorists navigate a nation that often denied them basic dignity. This is the second great contradiction of the Mother Road. It carried freedom, but not everyone received the same welcome. The road also crossed lands with older stories than the highway itself. Across the Southwest, Route 66 passed near native communities, trading posts, pueblos, reservations, sacred landscapes, and places shaped by histories far deeper than the automobile age. For some native families and artists, the highway brought customers and income. For others, it brought intrusion, stereotypes, and a tourism industry that often simplified living cultures into souvenirs. The road carried American dreams, but it also crossed land where other dreams had been broken or ignored. Still, Route 66 became part of the American imagination. It entered songs, television, postcards, maps, and advertising. It offered a simple invitation: get in the car and go. The road stood for movement in a country that often measured freedom by the ability to leave. It was democratic in feeling, even when reality was more complicated. You did not need a palace, a yacht, or a private train. You needed a car, gas money, a map, and the belief that the next town might be better than the last. Then the interstates came. Faster roads, straighter routes, wider lanes, and bypasses changed everything. America wanted speed. It wanted efficiency. It wanted to move goods and people across long distances without slowing down for every main street. For drivers, the new highways were useful. For many towns on Route 66, they were devastating. Traffic disappeared. Motels closed. Diners went dark. Gas stations rusted. Neon signs stopped glowing. The road that had once brought life to small towns now watched modern America pass them by. In 1985, Route 66 was officially removed from the U.S. highway system. On paper, the mother road was gone, but roads do not disappear from memory just because governments redraw maps. The old pavement remained in fragments. The signs remained in photographs. The diners remained in stories. People still remembered where their parents stopped, where they met a stranger, where the car broke down, where they saw the desert for the first time, where they felt America open in front of them. Officially, Route 66 ended. Emotionally, it refused to die. Then came preservation. Local communities, historians, business owners, travelers, and dreamers began saving what they could. Old signs were restored. Motels reopened. Roadside attractions were repaired. Museums told the story of the Mother Road. Historic Route 66 markers appeared where the old route could still be followed. This revival was not only nostalgia, it was a recognition that heritage is not limited to battlefields, palaces, or cathedrals. A diner can be heritage. A gas station can be heritage. A road can be a national monument stretched across thousands of miles. Today, people still come from around the world to drive Route 66. Americans come searching for grandparent stories. Canadians, British, Australians, Europeans, and travelers from far beyond come looking for the America they saw in movies, songs, and old photographs. Some ride motorcycles, some rent convertibles, some drive slowly with cameras ready. They are not only chasing scenery, they are chasing a feeling that somewhere on the open road, the past is still close enough to touch. So what does Route 66 really mean? It means America at its most hopeful and most difficult. It means movement, but also displacement. It means freedom, but also inequality. It means small business, but also loss when progress chooses speed over community. It means immigrants and migrants, soldiers and families, dreamers and drifters. It means a nation that has always told people to move forward, even when forward was uncertain. Route 66 is powerful because it does not show America as perfect. It shows America in motion. In the end, Route 66 is not only a road from Chicago to Los Angeles. It is a memory of who America wanted to be: open, restless, generous, brave, and always beginning again. It carried families out of dust, soldiers toward duty, workers toward wages, immigrants toward belonging, tourists toward wonder, and small towns toward possibility. It also carried disappointment, prejudice, poverty, and loss. But perhaps that is why it matters. The road did not hide America's contradictions. It drove straight through them. And somewhere, even now, an old neon sign still hums in the evening. A diner still pours coffee. A traveler still pulls over to take a photograph. A family still looks west and imagines a better tomorrow. Route 66 reminds us that civilization is not built only by laws, monuments, or presidents. It is built by ordinary people moving through uncertainty with hope packed beside them. The Mother Road carried America's dreams because America itself has always been a road, unfinished, imperfect, open ahead, and asking every generation where it wants to go next.